you know how we talk about you want to drop your ego so you can help others, right? Like stop making it about you. And when you do that, it's easy to kind of navigate through for others, right? Like you're not hinging any meanings or attaching anything. It's like you're able to step away from your identity, from who you are, and just be a soul for them, just be an open space for them, just hold unconditional love for them, to just hear them. And if they're asking for help, then it's easier to help them when you do that, or at least that's how I find it much easier. And I think I'm just so comfortable and familiar with doing that, but in a negative way. How do I, like, meaning we've talked about there were times that I was doing it, one, unsolicited, right? Like nobody asked for the help, so that's not good. And two, I would start to slip from my own alignment to please them, right? Like I would step away from my alignment, from my identity, from myself, not get my needs met. Because again, it was like a familiar pattern. And we've talked about when it turns into people pleasing, it's manipulating and it's looking to get something. So those are probably the wrong words for a lot of what I was doing, even though I was labeling it that, because I wasn't necessarily looking to get anything back, yet I was still leaving my own truth and alignment to such a degree that I was never taking care of my own needs. And so I don't know what the word is for that. Don't get me wrong, there was definitely people pleasing at times. I'm not trying to skirt that. I'm just trying to help those who see that they too do this and maybe are false labeling it. Okay, so there's that. And so if you've been listening over the past few years, you have heard all the stuff that I've been going through, and it has felt like a mixed bag of like spiritual awakening, karma. People could call it many things. I could call it many things, sometimes totally just confused or paranoid or who knows what. And then there's a million factors that can contribute to all of those that could explain them away or justify them. Nonetheless, all that said, sorry, let me just, okay. I feel like they've been showing me lately, like it's starting to make more sense in that, based on everything I just explained, they were like, stop. It's like, stop forgetting about your own needs where you're not getting your needs met. You're now, you're single, you're alone. You need to be grounded. I was going to say, they're showing like foundation. It's like you need to have your own foundation, your own needs met. You need to be able to stand on strong footing. I guess it's the idea of put on your own mask before you help others, right? It's like I have been in a place now where, maybe previously it was easier for me to help others because I was more aligned with myself and my needs were being met to a degree that it's like I had more availability to assist others. I keep wanting to say freely. I'm not sure the feeling they're giving me, but I think it is because before it was like maybe I was more secure on so many fronts. It's like, say you have 6 balls. Everybody always has, there's 6 human needs, right? So you have 6 balls in the air. Usually people only have maybe 1, 2, or 3 that they have mastered, and then 1, 2, or 3 that they're juggling, or whatever the case or ratio may be. But I had gotten to a place where I was like, oh no, all 6 balls are in the air, right? And it's like, okay, no, you need to be more situated before you can be constantly helping others. Stop stepping outside yourself when you're not fully aligned within oneself. And so that can also appear like really selfish or all types of things to people who are used to you leaving your alignment. And again, don't look at people as like good or bad or malicious. It's like just understanding yourself and what you're going through and what others are then experiencing that is different than what they're familiar with experiencing with you. So it may feel like cold or mean or harsh to you that you're now being frozen out or excluded or many things. But if you can, and I'm telling you not to step outside your body, but if you can step outside your body and see it from their angle, you can see where they're coming from. But it's also like, just do that for a minute to be like, oh, okay, I don't need to worry about that. That's their stuff to hinge. I need to keep focusing on me, to step back in my body, get myself situated, get my needs met in healthy and sustainable and consistent ways so that I can calm down my nervous system and remain aligned and congruent with myself, so that once I'm steady and stable and consistent there and have things set into place, then it's easy to again step outside one's, that's what they're showing, step outside one's ego, so that you can lose all form and identity to then hold a space of unconditional love for others. But you need your ego until you get yourself situated, until you get yourself aligned. It's like your ego can assist with that. It's like demand. If they're showing, it's like demanding alignment, and your ego, it's like showing my ego is strong enough. It's like manly enough, demanding enough. I was going to say mean enough, because I could at times look at it as mean, because it's not necessarily what I would want to do if I was fully aligned, if I was fully taken care of, if all my needs were being met. I wouldn't X, Y, and Z, which all makes sense. This is always the case when we're not fully aligned and when we're coming from our ego. But sometimes we need to come to be in our ego to get back into our alignment. We need that side of us to insist that we get back in. It's like our protector almost is what they're showing. Because it is showing like the masculine side, the harsher side, the more selfish side needs to step up. And it's like protect and guard until everything is settled into place. And then it's happy to, it's like step aside. It's showing, it's like, then it's happy to, it's almost showing, it's like, it's not like it wants to lead. It just knows it needs to lead in order to, it should like align me to get my nervous system to calm. And once that's in place, it's like it's not looking to remain in charge, so to speak, knowing that I like to be warm, I like to be friendly, I like to be involved with others, I like to be laughing and having fun and helping others and listening to others and holding a space for others. Yet I do not have the, what do they say, bandwidth, right? I don't have the bandwidth, the availability to do any of that while none of my needs are being met, which makes sense back to the put on your own mask before you assist others. And so none of this is new news, but I thought it was interesting how they're bringing in, stepping in and out of one's body, utilizing one's ego and when not to, just the verbiage around it and the imagery around it was like soothing and comforting to me. Like, isn't that nice to know that ego side of you, that masculine side of you? It's like it went into autopilot or auto drive, automatic, knowing that it's like your heart couldn't take it anymore or something. Like it was instinctual. Thank you. They're showing it was just instinctual. It was like your heart just gave way, like it could take no more. And again, the way they're showing it, it's like, I'm intellectually understanding that that's my own work to do. If my heart felt any which way, it doesn't change the fact that it felt those ways based on whatever I was telling myself, whatever hinges I was making, whatever needed to be unraveled, whatever needed to be understood, needed to be done. It didn't change the fact that the heart was, it's like broken or done or stabbed or shot, just toast. And so yes, all that needs to be healed, addressed, looked at, yet in the meantime, the ego needed to run the show for however long it takes until that healing is accomplished. It's just very interesting to me, the verbiage and imagery they're showing. And when I get in my head and think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the same thing. We're always essentially saying, learning, understanding. I guess it's because I like that they're not painting the ego as the devil per se, but actually the hero, right? It's like the devil side of you can be your hero at times when it needs to be done. Otherwise, you end up sacrificing yourself. The idea of the mask, You help everybody else before your mask is on. You're only going to be able to help so many people, and then out you go. So instead of your lights out because you're one who's able to help people put their mask on, put your fucking mask on. Catch your breath. Get some oxygen in you. And when you're steady, now you can really assist a tremendous amount of people. Where before, when you were working on fumes, you were able to assist, 3 people, and then out you went. So, maybe the overall message is also to just be more gentle and kind with oneself. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And what are you labeling good, bad, and ugly? Right? Like I have labeled my ego, bad and ugly, or the devil, the demon, all these things inside of me because of it's not what I'm familiar with in behaving, and yet it's also knowing the necessity of it. And so it's almost like the tug of war, confliction within oneself, and hard to almost get out of my own way, right? It's like, if you've been listening, so it's like that was set in place to actually help and heal me. And meanwhile, I'm like fighting it, calling it bad. Why? It's helping me and healing me. It was necessary. Why am I calling that bad? Right? Because others don't like it? Well, that's their problem. You're going to be dead if you don't allow this healing to take place. Does that make more? I think that maybe like sums it up pretty well. And so we have to sometimes make it that simple. Right? Like, are you going to be more concerned that others don't like it and therefore you're going to die? Or are you going to let them have their emotions and feelings and thoughts and opinions and you live? Right? Like sometimes we can simplify it down like that because we don't even necessarily recognize we're doing that. We're just so habitual with, in this sense, like that idea of people pleasing. But that's also in one's own head. Right? Like one's own head is thinking what others are judging them. Don't get me wrong. Comments are made. All these things are done. Stuff can be flying at you. But this is also why we want to clean all that up, clear all that up, slow everything down so that once we are healed and whole, the world doesn't stop and the world continues going at that fast pace. But once you're healed and whole and slowed down and more present, as that stuff flies at you, you can either pivot and move away from it, navigate it better, and or ask questions, and it's almost like redirected at them so that it's like, no. I don't want to misunderstand here. And this is hurting me. And this sounds awful, horrific, and nasty. It sounds like you're shooting daggers at me. Did you mean to shoot daggers at me? So you can get clarity right then and there so they can explain themselves. Oh my God, not at all. Or, yeah, I fucking did. What are you calling me out for? You never called me out before, right? Like it's a way to help oneself, but that ego needs to be in place at times so that you can get healed and whole, so that you can then protect yourself from an aligned higher state. And they're saying that's the wrong words, because we don't actually ever need to protect ourselves. But when our ego's in charge, it feels like we're being protected because we technically are, because maybe we are wounded and actually need that protection at that time. And so once you heal all that up, shore all that up, clean all that up, understand all that, then you can elevate to the higher space. And when you elevate to the higher space, you recognize no protection needs to be done, right? But you're not healed enough to feel that, understand that, resonate with that when you're in quote. It's really hard to verbalize what they're showing because, as I was going to say, in a broken state, but it's remember, it's always, always, always within the mind. So it's really just broken thinking, right? It's when you're still mishinging, misunderstanding, unaligned, unclear in your thoughts, when there's still that confusion and delusion. That's what I mean by like broken, in a sense, where it's like technically nobody is. There's just a misunderstanding somewhere, and there can be lots of them. So it can be a knotville up there and a total mess and confusion and delusion. So depending on that knot in your head is going to determine how long it will take for that, quote, healing, fixing, soothing, calming down to take place. And they're showing it's the idea of like, once that does take place, it then has to become more familiar with that new feeling, because it almost automatically wants to go back to the knots and the ties, not not because it wants to, but because it's familiar. They're literally showing strings of like paper that are kinked up and all crumpled and all types of things. And they keep ironing them out and smoothing them out. And even though they're smoothed out, it seems like they start crumpling up again as soon as the heat is away from them, just because it was so familiar with that pattern. So it's that idea where it's going to take some time for it to fully flatten out and be familiar with it flattening out. And that is the new pattern. So it doesn't have all those kinks in it. So it's showing like it gets better over time, like the more you do it, but it is a matter of time for it to be done. And I want to say with intention, although they're not showing that at all, it is actually showing, it seems like an automatic process. Now they're showing the heart underneath it. So I guess if the heart is in it, so maybe if the intention is from the heart, it's like it can be done. I'm not sure what they're showing. It seems like done automatically. Which I guess that's the idea of like give it up to God, give it up to unconditional love, this kind of thing. But always being more mindful, right? You're going to make mistakes, but it's like that idea of doing all that you can from your heart space, but you can only offer so much if you're in that space, and trying to come from that space as often as possible. So the intention is good. Okay, we could go on for days. They're starting to almost ramp up, and I need to ramp down. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. If you would like to support this channel, you can find more information in the notes below.